Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys a heads up on some titles that look to be leaving Steam later today. They look to be leaving Steam and GOG. More titles that are going to be going with the wind, so unfortunate news there. A bit of an update on the next Dragon Age title. That game is going to be huge for a variety of different reasons in terms of what it means for gaming as a whole and a studio that has such a history and lineage attached to it, so we'll talk about that. But right now, I do want to mention off the top, Delta Force titles are likely to be leaving GOG and Steam today. Now, these games aren't like absolutely huge or anything like that, but whenever games do leave Steam, I like to give a mention to it. Now, these games, as of the recording of this video, are still available, but there was a post put out by GOG team member that noted this. Just now, we've received a request that we have to delist all Delta Force titles that are available in our store due to legal reasons that are beyond our control. Affected titles are Delta Force 2, Delta Force Land Warrior, Delta Force Task Force Dagger, Delta Force Extreme, Delta Force Black Hawk Down Platinum Pack. I'll add the exact time of removals when we schedule it, but I wanted to let you guys know as fast as possible because it will most likely happen today. They will be removed from all storefronts. So that is 7 titles that are being pulled. That is a pretty sizable removal. So if you do want these games, they are still available as I record this video. There is the Delta Force Boot Camp bundle. That is $19.99, and it'll get you Delta Force 2, Land Warrior, and Task Force Dagger, and all of those games are being delisted. Is Delta Force Extreme on Steam? It should be. All of these games should be available on Steam still. As I'm recording this video, again, things like this, they can change very quickly. Yeah, Extreme and Extreme 2 are $19.99 a pop. I don't know if Extreme 2 is getting delisted, but whatever the case may be, unfortunate news there, and it is going to get delisted here shortly. All of these games are going to get delisted here shortly. It's always something a little bit unfortunate. There's a myriad of reasons on why these games get pulled. Usually it is licensing issues or a game just shutting down online features. In the case of a game shutting down online features, I don't understand why they just don't put like a notification being like, hey, online features are shut down, but sell the game maybe at a discount. I don't know. Maybe these things have, more to it than my assessment of them. Maybe there's terms and services that they accept, and if they remove features, they can't no longer sell a game. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how these things work in terms of how they decide which games get pulled. Licensing issues are licensing issues, and we all know the deal with that you have licensing agreements when you are utilizing an IP, sound, especially music. That happens all the time with racing games, since racing games are most prone to having licensed music as a part of their soundtrack, and they get pulled. So, kinda what you just deal with and you roll with the punches, and it is what it is. But if you do want those games, if by the time you guys are watching this video that those games are all up, try to go snag them as soon as possible. So there you go with that. Those games all getting pulled. All right, moving on from that. Very interesting news here. The next Dragon Age title has a new title now. To cut to the chase, the game is called Dragon Age the Veilguard. However, also, they noted, we'd like to invite the world to join us on Tuesday, June the 11th for the first look at gameplay for the next Dragon Age title. Now, we still don't know when this game is going to be coming out. I think most of us had expected it to be a 2024 game, and it very well could be a 2024 game. But given that we still don't know much about it, it's either we get the release date here and it's announced for 2024, or it's not going to be out until 2025, which would be an absolute bummer, given that BioWare has put out no games since, like, Anthem back in 2019, I want to say it was. Let's actually look at BioWare's release structure. Outside of, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Anthem, I believe, would be their last game, and yeah, it was their last game in February of 2019, so if this game does not come out this year and it's 2025, that would be a 6-year window between releases, and, really, it is do or die, I feel, when it comes to BioWare and Dragon Age. Look, Anthem was a stinker, Mass Effect Andromeda was a stinker. The last time they actually put out what I would think was a good game was a decade ago, November of 2014, and at this point, even if Dreadwolf is really good, BioWare is a studio that right now the perception is that they are absolutely washed, and I feel like that is a reasonable statement to describe BioWare, because they haven't put out anything in 6 years, and I always like to play a game of history. Let's go back to 2007. 2007 was the release of the original Mass Effect game. So let's look at all of the games that they put out in a 6-year window following 2007. So Mass Effect 1, Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood, that was on DS, Dragon Age Origins in 2009, Mass Effect 2 in 2010, Dragon Age 2 in 2011, Mass Effect 3 in 2012, and there was also Star Wars The Old Republic that they put out. That was all in a 6-year window. What have they put out in the last 6 years? Nothing! So, yeah, it is do or die for BioWare. If they put out another stinker here with Dragon Age, the Veilguard, it's done. It's GG. It would be, honestly, one of the most depressing trajectories for a studio maybe ever, and it would be more depressing than I think Rocksteady, because BioWare was absolutely beloved for a very, very long time. Go back to OG Baldur's Gate, go back to Star Wars KOTOR, Jade Empire, so on and so forth. They've put out some of the most legendary games, and Batman Arkham is one of the greatest trilogies of video games of all time, but outside of Arkham, you know, Rocksteady didn't put out much outside of the stinker that is Suicide Squad. Like, BioWare did Mass Effect, again, another one of the most beloved trilogies of all time. They did Dragon Age, they did Star Wars KOTOR, and now you're talking 6 years without a game, and it's gonna be do or die, and you know, BioWare is in that category with a Rocksteady, I would say with a Naughty Dog, where those studios are absolutely washed compared to where they were in the late 2000s into 2010s, and people get mad if it's about Naughty Dog since, you know, Naughty Dog, you look at their titles that they put out some great games, but what have they done for you lately? And when I say lately, I mean in like 7 years, nothing. And same thing with BioWare, nothing. And if you go back to their previous two titles, Andromeda and Anthem, two absolute trash games. And Andromeda I don't even think is as bad as some people make it out to be, but it's like pretty bad. But yeah, like, it's just sad seeing some of these studios get absolutely washed and just become a shell of their former selves. And if you go back to Andromeda, like, it's been 7 years since Andromeda's come out, and by the time Dreadwolf comes out, it might be 6 years between that and Anthem. And again, I eliminate Mass Effect Legendary Edition, you're just re-releasing some great games you did do, but nevertheless, and they have the gall to announce a new Mass Effect game. Like, come on, yo. They announced that game in December of 2020. That game ain't gonna come out until 2027 at the earliest. Like, BioWare, what are you doing? Like, how about you guys put out a good game before you, like, get all excited? It said 7 day, let's announce a new Mass Effect game! Like, come on, yo, what are we doing here? Put out a good game, and then we can talk about a new Mass Effect. The reveal of that new Mass Effect game, it was so aggravating to me because it's like, why can't we just not announce games a decade before they come out? Literally, if this new Mass Effect game kicks off another trilogy, and let's say this new Mass Effect game, because it was, what, 6 years between Anthem and Dreadwolf? I don't put it past that the new Mass Effect game comes out in 2030, excuse me. Let's say it comes out in 2030, you know, that's kind of a worst case scenario, but let's say it comes out in 2030, and it kicks off a new trilogy of games that come out once every 5 years, and it wraps up in 2045. Literally, I might be dead by the time this next Mass Effect trilogy wraps up. I am not joking. Who knows what's gonna happen in the world? If you're asking me to make it to 2045, excuse me, to see the conclusion of this Mass Effect trilogy, which is entirely possible, what are we doing here? Like, come on, let's just get Dreadwolf out. Why we need to announce this new Mass Effect game? But I'm going out on a tangent. You guys get the idea. I just hate when these studios be announcing games like a decade before they come out. Same thing with the Elder Scrolls 6. Like, none of us are making it to Elder Scrolls 8. Like, it ain't happening. We might, by the time we're 70, get Elder Scrolls 7, and then it's GG for us after that. Like, good game, boys. And same thing with BioWare with this new Mass Effect title. Like, if it kicks off like a new story arc, GG for us by the time that story arc wraps up. But that'll do it for me. Again, the Delta Force titles are getting pulled from Steam, so if you are interested in those, you know, maybe jump on those as soon as possible. And then BioWare, Dragon Age Dreadwolf has a new name, full gameplay reveal on June the 11th. I know I got on a bit of a tangent, but I hope it turns out well. If it doesn't, yo, GG for BioWare, and yeah, it would be GG no re. But that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.